Welcome back to the channel. Episode 19, Trials Talk podcast. Been a while since we've been together to do this, so we managed to get everybody back from holiday or back from work or back at school or wherever everybody's been. And plenty to talk about. There's changes in the British Championship, there's changes in the World Championship, there's X-Trial season, which has just been, well, still ongoing, but the championship has been won. Um, Anything else we need to talk about? I mean, that's probably enough to be getting on with, but
Electric Hondas.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, that'll come in the World Championship. Yeah, we'll cover that. We'll
Yeah.
cover people
Few
dropping out of
new
Trial
tyres
GP,
and stuff.
seemingly. That will, which is, I don't understand why they're allowed to do that, but anyway. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll start with X Trial. So, because that's pretty, yeah, that's I'm sort of getting bored with it now, to be honest. Um, Tony's won
Yeah.
his 19th title. Um, if you take him out of it, there's quite a good battle with everybody else for second and third place.
Yeah.
But you can't really. I mean, it's not his fault. He's brilliant, but it's not exactly. It's a bit of a foregone
He's
conclusion, isn't it?
yeah. He's too brilliant, isn't he? For the
Yeah, like you
sport,
say,
really, isn't
it's almost his level's almost dragging it to like an impossible level now. That's almost unreachable for everyone.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. For the vast majority, isn't it?
Yeah,
Um, there's still obviously still second place up for grabs between Marcelli and Busto.
Mm.
Um,
Who's your
so
money on?
I don't know. It could be anyone. Um, well,
Yeah.
whatever. Although in the last round there, Jaime seemed to sort of get it together a wee bit more.
Yeah, I
He
think he'll
he
I
looked
think he'll
steadier.
grab it.
He just looked so yeah. But at the next round, he could look terrible. That's just the way he goes.
Yeah.
yeah, like you say, it's. I think for me, he's the one. But I mean, as soon as he steadies it up and can get more consistent, that it's. I don't know. It's really hard at the moment, but like you say, maybe that's just slowly coming now, and
Mm.
maybe he's because the levels there. I think, in my opinion, like he's so
Yeah.
good, but it's just like you turn around and 1 minute it's like watching a world champion, and the next minute it's like bloody hell, how's he done that sort of thing? Or
Yeah.
Yeah,
um,
It is,
I
isn't
could have
it?
cleaned that.
yeah, but
Not.
that's it. Well, I don't know. Maybe now you're on electric motion. Maybe you could.
Oh no! Stop
Maybe
it! Stop it!
the
Stop it! Actually, surprisingly good to ride.
Mm.
It does have a bit of a silly grin factor.
yeah,
Because you just sort of think, oh, it shouldn't be doing that. It shouldn't be that
Yeah,
good, but it actually
that's how it
is.
feels, isn't it? You're on one, you think like it's not going to do that, and then you do it something really easy. You do
Yeah,
something that shouldn't be easily, and you think, how did it do that?
yeah. It's quite it's um the noise is the thing. I find that quite difficult to get my head around the fact there's just no noise, especially when you're
mm,
riding sort of in between. If you're going down like a downhill section in between, it's like just riding a mountain bike downhill.
yeah,
Mm.
You can hear the chain clattering and you can hear the brakes
yeah,
squeaking and the tires scuffing off everything. It's quite surreal, but yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. It's not. I mean, it's not. It's on long-term loan. It's not actually mine. So thank you to Inch Perfect. I'll
Oh,
give
so
them a
you've
bit of
not
a.
actually bought one? Thank God for that.
Well, they're not that bad. They're not that
No,
bad.
I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
Um, yeah. No, I'm pretty impressed with it. Actually, I'm taking it back. When I'm over in Scotland, I'll take it back over and give it back to them. I'll actually be quite sad to see the back of it, to be honest.
Yeah. No, like I
Um,
say, all joking aside, I mean, when I was out in Spain not too long ago, we did a bit of riding with Gail,
Mm.
and I was impressed with it. I was really, really. Obviously, I know a
yeah.
lot of it's the pilot as well, but the
Thanks.
stuff that the power of that bike is pretty impressive now.
Yeah,
It's
The
he He's a
There's
fair
too
boy
there's
on
too
it, isn't he,
much.
Dale?
Go ahead, Hugo.
Too much was that?
Yeah,
What
in
were
the
you going to
top
say,
one, they're a
Hugo?
weapon, aren't they? I was going to say
Yeah,
Gale's a fair pilot on it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I started out. Matthew gave me a few maps to sort of get me going,
Mm.
um, and I started out. I think I was using 65% of the power, which is the torque basically from the motor, and about
Mm.
80% of the revs. And I'm actually now using just over 50% of the power. I've gradually been sort of dialing it back as I've got
Yeah.
used to riding it. Um, but it rides quite like a four stroke. You would like it, Matt? It's
You
all on the
reckon?
throttle, just roll on and off. Loads of torque, just roll on and off the throttle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite. I think if you came from a four stroke, you'd actually probably find getting used to it.
Yeah.
Probably slightly easier than coming from a two stroke. But I mean, you could set it up to ride exactly like a two stroke as well. So yeah,
I
I think
just
it's the
think for
future,
me, there's
unfortunately.
almost, I think for me, like having all them different options and maps and stuff like that, I wouldn't know where to go with it. Do you know what I
You can
mean?
go down a rabbit hole
I
very
like
quick.
just getting on
It's
something and just go right, ride it like this. It's
Yeah.
it's
having
like
all the
a
maps and
beauty of
stuff.
it and also a curse at the same time, isn't it?
Yeah,
If you've
Exactly,
got too
exactly.
into it.
yeah. You could just drive yourself nuts with it. You just go round and round in circles.
Yeah.
Um.
Setting up
Anyway,
a Rager five-way shock's hard enough, but never mind
Oh,
trying to sort out the mapping
yeah.
on one
You
of
no
them.
never a
yeah.
need for a five-way shock. It's just
Oh,
four more ways of going wrong.
yeah, exactly. Can't be doing with that.
Um. Right. Enough of that. We've digressed a little bit, but British Championship upcoming. There's been a few test days. Have you been there? Did you go to one of them? Did you go to one of Hook? There was one at Hookwood, Hugo. You had it, or was that when you were
No, I
skiing?
went to the one at Inch last weekend.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Anything much changed for the level in trial two? I don't think so. The one in Scarborough, it looked
No, I
pretty
think they're
similar.
intending trial two to stay pretty similar, really. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's
but there
certainly
might be some slightly bigger stuff in it, maybe because I think we're allowed mind. There's going to be minders this year,
yeah,
so
yeah,
there might be a few slightly bigger things in it, which would be good.
yeah,
But ours was bang on anyway, really. Some of them might have been slightly steady, so should be
Yeah.
yeah.
good for us.
I don't think there was really very much wrong with the GB class trial two or the experts really last year. It seemed to
No.
be everybody seemed to enjoy it like across the board. I think some of the certainly the one in Scarborough, the test day that I was over at,
Mm.
was more aimed at the new line for the girls and the youth B boys to
Yeah,
sort of
I
see
think
what
this one
level
was as
that needs to
well.
be pitched
Yeah.
at. So, but I think they've sort of got that pretty much sorted out now, and I see a little rule change as well, so we can allow the girls to maybe miss gates if it's like a slightly
Yeah,
harder
there's
line or something like that. So,
some of the rivers are inch perfect because as they get to the top of the hillside, I suppose they get steeper and steeper. So some of the
Yeah.
trial two women and the B boys, it must be, were like turning
youth B
out
boys,
slightly early, and the rest of it carried on. Yeah,
yeah,
which does
yeah,
help.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
I
think
think
it's
it'll
the only
help.
way you'd be able to make it work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because there's such a level difference there from the sort of
yeah,
youth the youth B boys at the upper end of that grade, and then you've got some of the girls that have maybe probably just moved up from maybe youth B into youth A girls. So there's quite a bit of a spread of talent across that. So I
yeah,
think to give a bit of leeway to help sort of smooth that out a bit, it's going to work quite well.
yeah,
Hopefully,
yeah.
hopefully, putting my Clark of course hat on and
Are
What?
it'll all work out. Fingers
you
How's
crossed.
ready
it?
for the challenge though? I think it'll be good, mate. I'm excited to come over.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't wait. Yeah,
yeah, good. Yeah, I'm actually running a little sort of test practice day this weekend for really just for the local riders who are thinking of riding and maybe haven't ever been
yeah.
to a British Championship before, and just to give them an idea what the level is. So,
Hmm.
although the weather's well, we've had like 2 weeks of glorious weather, and
Yeah,
today, of course, it started raining. So all that lovely drying out it's been doing for the last 2 weeks has just been undone with an hour of rain,
yeah,
which is never good. But we'll get there. We'll be all right.
yeah.
Um,
It's
yeah,
realistic, then, isn't it?
I've got some pretty mm, big stuff for the GB line.
Yeah.
So
Looks a good
hopefully,
place.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a good spot.
Mm.
Good spot. And I'm only using, I mean, it's 180, just over 180 acres in total. And I think I'm
Wow.
using about 15 of it. So I'm
Mm.
barely scratching the surface.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could probably have 3 or 4 trial GB rounds and not use the same section twice.
Yes, there's a lot to be said for that, isn't there? It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully it goes all right this year and we can maybe run another one. I wouldn't expect people to come over every year, but maybe every other year or something like that would be
Hmm.
Yeah.
probably probably
I'm
work
quite
all
Well,
keen
right.
for a bit of a trip.
how long's it been since an event
Well,
came to?
the last time the British Championship was in Northern Ireland was actually at the same venue in 2006. So
Oh wow.
nearly 20 years. There was a World Championship in 2009
I remember that. Yeah. Was that in
In
Bangor?
Newcastle.
Near
No,
Bangor?
well, there was one in Bangor the year before,
Ah,
um, '08 and
that's what I'm thinking of.
'04. Yeah, '04 and '08 was in
Mm.
Bangor, and then '09 was in Newcastle, Donard Park. Another cracking venue.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be good.
Mm.
Um,
Definitely. I know.
What
I'm excited to do it. It'll be good.
are
yeah,
you doing the full series, Matt, this year or the British?
Honestly, mate, at the moment, I'm not too sure exactly what I'm doing. I've committed to a couple of world championships,
Yeah.
and then after that, we're sort of just seeing what happens.
Yeah.
play it by
So
ear with
yeah,
Harry Turner.
exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm going to do the first few world rounds with Harry Turner, and then, like I say, after that, and I'm obviously going to do some of the British with him as well, and then we're just sort of going to work it out as we go.
Yeah.
And like I say, if he has to go back to using his dad, who's perfectly capable, then like I say, he'll be doing that as well.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
thought
just
when you said you're excited for a trip, I thought you meant you'd be riding then. I was looking forward to hearing the four stroke or
Yeah, I
anything.
mean, I'm contemplating it maybe towards the end of the year, maybe,
Yeah.
but we'll see, we'll see.
Yeah.
But no, so
rounds 5 and 6. I'll go easy on you in the expert line if you want.
round 5 and 6, come on. Oh man, I've done it. Like I say, having not been to any of the test days, I'm a bit sort of like, and obviously, I was trying to think how many years it's been since I've ridden British Championships, and
Mm.
I think the last year I rode was 2020, I think.
Yeah.
Right. So
Um,
that's only 5 years.
yeah, I know, but it still feels like and I feel like that was the highest level I've ridden,
Yeah.
and I haven't really matched that since. Ever since then, all I've really done is ride local club events and then
Mm.
do the 6 day. um,
Yeah.
and
Was
a lot of bike catching.
Yeah.
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 You do a lot of riding in
Well,
between there.
Yeah,
no time like the present, as they say. Why not? Get back out there.
Back on the
yeah,
horse.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Right. That's probably British Championship. Maybe we should do some. Well, no, the season doesn't start. The season doesn't start till June.
No,
I was
it's a
going to say
long
maybe
way
we
off,
should do
isn't it?
some predictions, but we'll leave that for closer to the. We'll see
Mm.
how people are going.
Yeah.
So first big event, I suppose. Then, other than well, there's another final round of the X Trial is this weekend, I think, isn't it? In Tallinn, I think so.
Not sure.
I think so. And then next weekend, 5th and 6th of April, is first World Championship, which is
Yeah.
again rules change, new format, new flipping
Mm.
points for both laps, all that carry on. I've booked a last minute flight. Actually, I'm going to go over to that.
Oh.
It's near
The
Malaga,
first
but
one or second one?
yeah, first one, yeah.
Oh,
It's
cool.
half hour drive from Malaga airport, I think, to the venue. So
Yeah, it's
and the
pretty
flights were cheap and
close.
the car hire was cheap, so get in.
Mm. That's a hint.
So what do we, I mean, I'm guessing you're from, well, maybe Matt, you might be more familiar with the new rules. Maybe you've been practicing all that out in Spain, were you?
To be honest, we read a lot of the rules, spoke about them a lot, and
And
some
then
like I
ignored
say,
them and
we
went,
knew. for new section concepts and stuff. I think obviously we practiced 1 minute, and you can do a fair bit in a minute, but you can't make any mistakes.
No.
And,
Yeah.
and it's like I say, I think my only sort of concern with the like going back to a minute is just like obviously it's sections are going to become very sort of clean or five on the scores, regardless, because you know what I mean. I mean, like I say, you all know that you can clean something all the way to the end and get timed out, and it's like devastating, isn't it? It's so that's my biggest sort of reservation with the time limit. I mean, if they set it accordingly, like they always say they do, it should be okay.
Yeah.
I'm unsure how I feel about the whole points a lap thing, treating each lap as a race.
Yeah.
I
mean, I can sort of see the point there that if you've had a good lap, then you get rewarded for it. But
yeah, it's
I don't know. At the end of the
trials
day,
is about consistency, isn't it? Really, and
yeah.
it does take a bit of that away, I suppose. But
yeah, and then I thought, as well as that, I thought when I read qualification sort of thing was coming back, I was like, that could be quite good because personally for me, like I always thought it was quite a good part to the weekend. Like it was a good thing for people to tune in live on social media and all that sort. And I know a lot of that was down to like obviously the event organisers and stuff that I think did a great job. But I think I just think it'd bring something exciting back to trials to a point.
Brings a good bit of atmosphere, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And they're trying to, the whole sort of aim that they're trying to make, the changes that they're making is to try and make things more exciting, better for spectators and the television. And it's just like, well, as much as there's a lot of people that watch things on TV, it's all streamed. There's no reason why, if it was good and exciting, people would pay to watch the live stream of the qualification as much as watching the event.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I thought that.
Yeah, I think that was a great part when we were doing them. Quali was always a thing, and although I was always pretty crap at it for some reason, it was like one of the best. It was like the most atmosphere you had all weekend, really.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did. I think because it's quite simple for people to understand. You know, obviously trials is pretty much all the spectators are die-hard trials enthusiasts, but for the people, especially when they bring it to like maybe a town or you know like a town centre or something like that, you get a lot of passers-by, and it's immediately sort of relatable. They can see that they understand what's happening. Where they maybe wouldn't do that, you know, watching a bunch of sections or whatever.
It definitely is more it translates better to just general public, doesn't it, to watch rather than trying to figure out what's going on with people riding between these coloured flags and stuff.
Yeah, but I thought that was going to be a good addition to the championship, and then it turns out that it's optional. The organisers don't have to run it, so the first two rounds aren't running it. So
I didn't know
so
that.
it's only going to be at selected events.
But then the bonus section thing, I think that's got to happen everywhere, isn't it? You know that
par section or whatever they're going to call it.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, the bonus.
What is this? Just run me through that then. What's that? The last? Is it like the last section of the lap or something, or what?
Yeah, I think it's.
I think it's going to be an extra section
in or around the paddock.
Yeah.
That's like a way of. I think it was either it wasn't getting more championship points. It was to like basically rank higher that particular day, I think, or that week over a weekend. I don't really.
Yeah, I think it was sort of along the line of like a tiebreaker.
Like a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so in that sense, it's quite good.
Is it the top three that get points?
Sections around the paddock anyway, didn't they? There's always like an arena one close to the start or finish.
But that power section actually is only for Trial GP and GP women. The other classes aren't doing it. Yeah.
Really?
So yeah, I'm just actually looking. I saw this Trial GP press release thing pop up here. So what is it? Power section will be introduced to close each day of competition with additional championship points up for grabs, while competitors in both elite categories will at a selected round face a super test section to determine starting order. So that's all they've said on it, really. Um, yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, we'll see how
Yeah.
that works
How
out.
many? So is it still like 2 laps of 15?
2 laps of 12, I think it is. I think it's
Is
the
it
same as
Really?
the British. Same as the British.
It's a
Two
bloody
laps of 12.
from a from a riding perspective, it's a blooming long way to go to all the way to the south of Spain for 24 sections in a
Yeah.
day. But
But they're all 2 day competitions now,
yeah, they
aren't
are,
they?
aren't they? But yeah,
But um, yeah, well, some people were saying the same about the British Championship. It's a long way to go for
yeah, I
20,
can see.
But I think when you've got 24 each day, I suppose you maybe like I think
It
probably if you were doing
is.
36 each day, you'd be pretty tired by the end of the second day.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's the point, isn't it?
says Hugo, the fitness expert. Um,
Says you with
never
all
out.
your Scottish training
He's
videos.
never out the gym. Never out the gym. I haven't been in the gym all year. Actually, it's ridiculous. There's no way. I mean, I just couldn't. I just couldn't have done Scotland this year. Just too much.
Is
Too
that
other
because
much.
you've not been going to
You
the
could
gym enough?
have.
Too much other stuff happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, just yeah, too much else going on at the minute. But anyway, right. So back to the World Championship. Um, yeah, Trial GP class is hemorrhaging riders left, right, and centre. Obviously, Adams retired. Uh, Mikhail Jalabert is
Fucking
demoting
going.
himself to Trial 2. Benoit Bincaz is demoting himself to Trial 2. At least Jack Peace and Alex Canales have decided to move up. But there's
Yeah.
another rider I think isn't going to be in the championship
Is
this year. The Italian fella, what do you call him? Petrella? I don't think Petrella's going to be. I don't think he's entered anywhere.
Really?
no.
I don't think so. I don't
What's
see him on the entry list, but unless I just missed him. But
what's Hugo de Vries doing this year? What's he in?
I think he's in.
Top class still,
He's
He's
I
in the
top,
think.
top
yeah,
class still. Yeah.
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 Stayed up
Um,
even.
He has been loving crashing at the moment, hasn't he? Every time I go on social media, there's a
this,
video of Hugo
You
face planting.
say that like it's new, Matt.
I was going to say,
Well, yeah, this
is
is
that
true.
not
Yeah,
just his
that is
career
true.
so far? Just
Maybe I've just seen more of him now. He's on the beat, or I've just cared to look a little bit more. I don't
oh, is that it? Is that what it is?
know.
Is that what it is?
Just caught your eye.
Yeah,
Um,
How
maybe it's the
many's
beta.
how
Maybe
many's
it's the
in?
betas making him crash more.
What's the power
maybe,
in it?
maybe. Yeah, he
Too
can't
much
hang
power,
on.
is it? Is that what it is?
Can't handle it.
Needs a four-stroke.
How how many people are in GB then at the first round? Do you know? I did look,
Uh,
but I can't remember.
let me see. I can look up the entry list
You
here.
can pull it up.
Pre-entry list. I noticed actually in trial two on the pre-entry list, Miguel Jalabert wasn't on it, which I thought was strange.
No, I noticed that. Yeah.
So the trial GP riders are Bo, De Vries, Canales, Aniol Jalabert, Gabriele Marcelli, Jaime Busto, Jack Peace, and Matteo Grattarola. So that's
Mm.
8.
God,
That's mad, isn't it?
that,
Yeah.
it's slowly just going to
I
morph into just trial two being
Yeah, well, I think if you took
it.
Tony out of trial
It would do it.
GP
Yeah.
and just got rid of trial 2 and just made that trial GP,
Mm.
that would probably be okay. Be
yeah.
quite competitive.
I just
Yeah.
think it's really
Joking
sad that
aside.
manufacturers don't support riders to ride that class.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I just
wonder.
think there's so many boys that move up if they could get a little bit, and I'm not talking like massive wages or anything,
No,
just
no.
literally having boys would just do it for parts and a bike
Yeah.
or whatever. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? That's
yeah, a bike
literally,
even just
I
yeah,
would be great. Um,
honestly think, like you said earlier, joking aside, if you took Tony's level out of, I'm not, he's amazing as everybody, but if you took him out of it, brought the level down slightly, you'd probably get another 10 from trial two that could go up and have a real good crack at it.
yeah,
yeah,
And it would just all even itself out again, wouldn't it?
yeah,
He's
yeah.
just,
It's
yeah.
it's yeah. I mean, not take nothing away from Tony, but
No.
he's not
the
doing the
amount he's
sport
done for the
probably any good,
sport.
isn't
Well,
it?
the amount he has done for it, and now it's almost going
Yeah,
too
no,
far
yeah.
now, isn't
So
it?
it went one way, and now it's just going the other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
he's slowing down a bit. Someone just go have a word with him. Just put the brakes
yeah.
on a little bit, and then
yeah, or what about putting him on an electric bike? That would have been a good idea, wouldn't
Well,
it?
do you
I
reckon?
was
I
talking
reckon
about
that's the next year plan, isn't it? Surely.
this for some similar topic, but slightly different about like standard, a bit like F1, where they have all the rules around the cars to make it more of a level playing field.
Yeah,
Something like that, like weights of the weights of the bike or like materials or tire type, something like that, just to sort of
mm.
like
I
knock the
mean,
level
that's
back a
cool.
peg to make it more even. Yeah,
Yeah, it'd be a good
Yeah,
way of doing it.
like they do in super bikes with like a standard ECU for everybody, or
yeah,
um,
something of that ilk. Like I don't know, you could
yeah,
the rumors on what that them HRC bikes are worth. You could say, all right, your bike's got to be stock bike and plus two
Yeah,
grand in special parts or something
yeah,
like
like
that.
super stock,
Yeah, yeah. At
Trial
least it
GP
would,
super stock.
yeah,
I think that's it. I
cap
think
it.
it's a really cool idea. Like you say, everyone run the same engine or the same chassis and different engines, or do you know what I mean? I just think it could be a really cool spin on the thing.
Yeah, I do.
One
Um,
make.
I'd be
And
well up for that. That
and start
that's
to make it more accessible for people to get nearer the top then.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, I think it's a
yeah.
really good
Well,
idea.
you've got. I mean, like you say, there's a lot of Trial Two riders there. I'm thinking like Billy Green, Sandra
Mm.
Haga, all those type of guys, um, who would would do very well if the level was just brought back slightly. It doesn't have to be. I
Yeah,
don't think it would have to be very much.
no, not much at all.
Um,
That's what I'm saying as well, just to get like
Yeah,
that extra 10 to go up to the top route and make it
yeah,
a credible thing again. Yeah.
yeah. Because it's not really, as you say, that is exactly the right word there. It's like it's not a credible championship. It sort of becomes a bit of a
yeah,
mockery, doesn't it?
Mm. Well, I bet the vast majority of people, when they look at the results, just look straight to trial two now, don't they?
Yeah, well,
I know
Trial
I'm
Two's
guilty
it's
of
a
doing
far
it.
more exciting class to watch, isn't it?
it
Yeah.
is because it's so competitive. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're following, I mean, it really annoys me that they don't follow it on the live feed.
Mm.
They only show GP women and Trial GP. Um, and like they're interviewing like Sophia Rabino or something, and meanwhile in the background you can see Jack Peace or well Harry
Yeah,
Hemingway or whoever it'll be
Good.
this year
Yeah.
riding a section in the background. I'm like, let me watch him. You can
Show
still
me
interview
that.
her,
Yeah.
but like show him.
yeah.
You
It's
Yeah.
know?
really strange though because I remember, I think it was the first round, not last year, the year before. We were there, and it was when the new TV contract people took over, and there was a big thing of like basically, right, we're going to be concentrating on both the GP classes, and then next year do more of the trial two and introducing the other classes as well.
Mm.
But it just hasn't happened at all.
No.
No.
Um, Obviously, I don't watch it on telly because I mean I'm there, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems a shame, like you say, because you're missing out on watching the up and coming people that are going to be moving
Yeah.
up into the class that you will see on telly. You're going to go, well, who were there? Well, you won't because anyone that watches it knows trials, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
like in the eyes of the general public, like this person's come from nowhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
That's
It's
boom.
you get to know people a bit and then you to
yeah,
support them at the
Yeah.
high
yeah,
level.
Especially with Trial 3 as well. You got, I mean, like George Hemingway,
Mm.
perfect example. You follow him at Trial 3, Trial 2,
yeah,
hopefully Trial
Yeah.
GP. Um, that's that's kind of the way it should
It's
work,
what
but
you
it doesn't
want.
seem to
It's
work
what you
that way.
want to see, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
The viewer.
yeah.
exactly. Exactly. Um, so what's the opinion then on obviously Honda have brought out this RTL E.
Mm.
Um, Benoit Bincaz as well has signed for Electric Motion. And he's riding Trial 2 as well alongside
Mm.
Miguel. I mean, how
And
can a
Gail.
Trial GP rider just go, do you know what? I'm going to ride the grade lower. I don't know how that's allowed,
Mm.
especially seeing as the electric bikes. albeit it's only electric motion and gas that have competed in the X Trial, but they're competing on the same sections in X Trial.
Yeah,
Mm,
So, so how does that add up? Surely that there's something not quite right there.
yeah.
yeah,
I think a lot of it's just down to who the what the manufacturers want to support someone to do.
yeah,
Whether they see Trial Two as a more achievable championship to win when you put in an
yeah.
already proven rider on it. Do you know what I mean? Because I mean
I think
Benoit's a
it's
very very good rider, and so is Miguel for that matter. But
mm,
it's just yeah
it's the race to be the first like electric bike world champion
to
at
do
that,
it
isn't it?
to do it. Yeah, exactly.
And it's a
Because
lot it's a lot better to see your bike coming in the top 10, top five in a big like being at the top of the leaderboard rather than probably as good as they are, but on an electric bike they're probably going to be at the
mm,
bottom of Trial GP, aren't they?
I don't
Which
yeah,
know.
doesn't doesn't do I'm presuming, yeah, I don't know, but
I don't know. I
yeah.
don't genuinely know what the level of those bikes is. Like you can only go off X Trial, um, and
Yeah.
there hasn't really been no disrespect to Gail or Sandra,
Mm.
but they're not top trial GP riders. They're trial
No.
two riders, so they're in at the deep end anyway. But
yeah,
it would be good to see. It would have been good to see maybe Miguel do an X trial on the electric bike. Just that might have given a
Mm.
truer representation of what the level is. But I mean, there's all the
Yeah.
conspiracy theorists there on Facebook and all Honda buying a championship and all that. Well, I suppose that's maybe essentially what they are doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that pans out.
Yeah, well.
I
But I mean,
certainly wouldn't have said it'll be a walk in the park for him.
oh
No,
no.
I think anyone that
definitely
throws
not.
their name in the hat in that class is just
Oh,
like
he has got a
you could turn
target
It's
around at the
on
end
his
of the
back.
day and go,
it's
"Oh, he won today," and it was yeah,
pretty brave dropping down, I think, because it's a different ball game, and it you can be the top class. You can be so good at doing all the big stuff. You arguably don't have to be so consistent, do you?
no,
But trial
No,
two, you've got to be like bang on all
you've
day,
got to be on it
not put a foot wrong. Yeah,
all day long. Yes, like massive
could be a bit
target
humbling.
on the back there. Um, but I mean, also for the likes of people like Harry Hemingway or any of those guys that have maybe been in the top four or five, top 10 even.
Mm.
I mean, anybody in the top 10 basically in trial two on their day can win it. Um, but for the likes of them, sort of coming up and thinking, right, great, you know, work hard this winter. I could be in
Mm.
with a shout, podiums, maybe even wins. And then suddenly you have two trial GP riders coming along and going, maybe not
yeah,
sunshine. That's
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
that's gotta be
Yeah,
that's gotta piss you, or maybe it just makes you work harder. I don't know. Anyway, I don't think it's right, but that's just my opinion.
no,
Mm.
I agree with you to an extent, Russ. Yeah, there should
Yeah,
be something needs to be done, doesn't it? Really, to sort the whole thing
especially when
out.
you've especially when you finished. I mean, what Miguel have a fourth place? I think he had a fourth place. I think he missed out in the podium. He was really close to podium in one of the
Mm.
rounds last year. So
Mm.
like, it's not as if he's not competitive in that class.
No.
But
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think it's a shame, like you say, to potentially take a world championship away from someone that's up and coming, dropping down.
Yeah,
I'm glad that they've like because I mean, let's be fair,
not will they?
Miguel would have had a pretty good contract to do what he's doing. He'll be on a fair bit of money and he's making a living doing it, which is great to see because so many people aren't making a living riding trials full time.
Mm.
But and then this and the same obviously with Benoit. I presume he sort of had nowhere else to go to a point
Yeah,
to be able to live or make a living out of riding his bike. And so I just think it's so crap how it's like so hard for people to do it now.
yeah.
mm.
And
Um,
the other thing about that, the electric motion thing, they already had Gironi Fiordo,
Yeah.
yeah,
former
What's
but it
trial
doesn't really seem to
GP.
do anything. Doesn't
where's
really
he
seem to
He
do
disappeared to?
anything.
apparently he is now going to be the team manager.
Ah,
Right.
So Yeah, I suppose because Mark Colomay was the team manager and he was part of
Mm.
the group that bought Vertigo.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was, wasn't
So maybe Gironi's just sort of fallen into that role. But I mean, I would have thought that was you're already paying him. Why not just pay him to ride the trials as well
Mm,
instead of hiring somebody else? But maybe
he?
Electric
Mm.
Motion have got more money to throw about than other teams.
maybe.
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
But I did notice that the last few X trial since the was it Barcelona? Since Barcelona, that Bing has just been wearing plain black gear. He's
Yeah.
still riding a Sherco, but he's obviously not
Yeah.
supported anymore. So
No, I think
that's
it
a
was
bit
ended,
unfortunate.
wasn't it?
That's a bit unfortunate. Um, so Trial GP, Trial 2, electric bikes, all that nonsense. What do we reckon? We'll do some predictions. Trial GP probably not going to be too hard to do. Um, do we? I don't know. Second, who's going to be second and third?
Second, I think I've got Jaime for second, I think.
Yeah, I think
I think I'll
Uh,
go, I'll I'll go out on another one and say Marcelli then, or Marcelli.
yeah.
Marcelli. Marcelli.
Yeah, you.
Um, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the points per lap or race, as they're calling it, will affect.
Mm.
I don't know. I didn't actually look at last year's championship and allocate points. I mean, I'm
So
an
it
anorak, but
still
I'm not that much of an
rewards
anorak.
them with the most consistent over the season, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What
And
are
Yeah,
they
most
just going to do
consistent on the
one?
day as well, really.
Are they just doing one podium? It's still like one podium per day. They're not doing
yeah.
like one
I think
per
so,
lap
yeah.
or anything stupid.
No,
You just
no.
get points for a lap and stuff now.
The other thing, which I was told, and I don't know if this is right or not, but apparently the riders aren't allowed to walk the sections on the second lap.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a throw that one in there. That's a bit of a
They
strange
got
one.
everyone. They've all got a minder running through it, cleaning the lines and
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
anyway, so it won't make much
I
difference.
mean, I also heard, I know it's sort of like a rule that's been, well, like maybe it's just not been that well policed, but minders have always sort of gone in just before the rider, check the ruts quick and whatever.
Yeah.
And this year, supposedly, the minder isn't allowed in the section until the rider has entered and the 1 minute is counting down. So,
Right.
like,
Ah.
it's going to completely take that element away as well.
Yeah.
Um, so, which is crazy because at that point, it's almost as dangerous, really, because you're just going to get people. Ultimately, a minder's there for safety, aren't they?
Yeah.
And if everyone's rushing, things are going to go wrong. And yeah, it's just
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose
It's a
it's like
real.
everything. It'll
There's
maybe
not.
take a bit of time to for everybody to get used to it, but you'll get into a routine, no doubt, of what to do. And
Yeah. There's an argument both sides for everything because totally agree. If there's a if there's a load of loose stones in a rut when you're going to try and go for a big step or something, it could get dangerous, couldn't it?
yeah,
Mhm.
But
exactly.
on the flip side, you could say it keeps it more natural and like
Yeah,
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 more natural trials on the other hand. But
yeah. Well,
I
it'll be
just think
interesting to see.
at the very least, you should be allowed to go into the section to look at your line or whatever. Just make
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's
no,
yeah. Or
I
if
agree with you there.
I mean, if there's a really big step that maybe the organizers even have put a kicker in, and that kicker gets ruled out or something.
yeah.
Mm,
Normally, I think you're allowed to replace that, but maybe that's changed as well. Who knows? We'll
I have
soon
no
mm.
find out. We'll
idea.
find out in a
There's
fortnight's
too many
time,
changes all at once.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I'm confused already.
Fuse.com. Right. Okay. So we're going. I think we're all agreed on the top three in Trial GP. It's just whatever the order of second and third is going to be.
Mm,
Which I suppose maybe the points per lap could affect that because sometimes Jaime is unreal, puts in like unreal laps. So yeah, he might just edge that
mm,
situation better there. Trial
Mm.
two, who do we reckon? I mean, obviously we've got two Trial GP riders, albeit on electric bikes, but
mm.
how do you reckon that's going to go? I can't pick a winner there. It's so competitive.
Yeah, isn't it? Um, It's hard to say.
I think Harry's going to be there or
He'll be
thereabouts.
up there, and I don't reckon. I don't reckon George will be far behind him
No, probably not.
either.
Um, Billy.
I think I was going to say Billy. I'll say Billy
Yeah, I think Billy's got to
for the
be up
win.
there for me as well.
Yeah,
It's
he
really
seems
hard because I don't want
pretty
to. I don't
steady,
want to.
doesn't he? But he almost
I don't
seems
want
to
to call. I
ride better.
genuinely don't want to call it.
No,
Yeah,
I felt. Go on, Matt. You got to
yeah.
say someone. Pressure's on.
No, I don't want to say anyone.
Three, two, one.
Ben Dignan.
Ben Dignan.
It's
There you
Well,
better.
go. It's mate the underdog. I'm
Stranger things have happened.
now he's on his Sherco. That's
Yeah.
it. I don't think there's any stopping him.
yeah, I think he'll go better for sure.
Mm.
But who
Yeah.
knows? What's he? What
We've
I mean,
got.
Yeah.
I'd love to know what his aim is. I mean, he's got to be consistently top 20. Probably is probably a realistic aim,
I think
and
to be
then
fair,
take
I
it
think
from
it's one of
there.
them. If he's in the points, he's happy. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I
I mean,
think the same
if
for a lot of that
you're
sort of right. If you're in the points, you've had a bloody good day, haven't you? Now.
that's
Yeah.
what yeah, well, that's why I'm saying sort of top 20. You're no slouch for
Yeah.
finishing the top 20. Um, yeah. So
Mm.
top three, I'm gonna go.
I think Arno
Yeah.
Ferrer will be
Let's
up
do
there
top three,
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
we?
you've got Arno Ferrer. Um, there's another Sherpa rider. Can't remember his name. You should know this, Matt. You're a Sherco man now. Um, maybe Adam Ragg is going to make a comeback in trial two.
Maybe, yeah. He's just
Everyone
going to
else
do it on
is.
the beat. He's just
On
going
a,
to do it on a beta 80 or
on a
something.
one
He'll
two
still
five.
and he'll still
Yeah,
win.
yeah. Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Jalabert, Harry Hemingway, and Billy Green for the top three
In that
Mm.
order.
in that order. Yeah.
Mine's Billy, Jalabert, Harry
Okay. Ooh,
in that
right.
order.
Spicy.
I think that Honda's going to be a fair bike, so I think
Yeah,
George.
that's yeah. Go ahead, Matt. Go on.
I thought I'd dodge that then.
No, we've done it.
Uh, um,
You got to say Harry Turner. I mean, you've got to say Harry Turner.
yeah, go on then. It's difficult because I've got friends all over through the class, so I don't
Well,
want to like.
Well, so have I.
we've left out Jack Dance. I mean, Jack Dance is a
Yeah,
trial
see,
two
Jack's going to be another
winner.
one. Jack's going to be another
Um,
one.
George,
Um,
who knows
Yeah,
if he hits the
I'm.
ground running?
That's just my
for
opinion.
me,
So
for me,
I want them all to. I want them all to be up there.
I genuinely think, I think George has got a top three in him
Oh, I do. Yeah,
because
I think he
on his
would.
day
Yeah,
this year.
him and Brad together work so well.
Mm.
They just cruise through a trial,
He's got
doing their
such.
own thing, and I'm watching him his videos and stuff at the moment, and he's so good.
He's got such a
Uh,
good head on him for competition as well.
yeah,
yeah, I hope to see Harry Turner do really well.
Yeah,
I think he's improved so much this winter.
he
And
does look to be
such as
on
everyone, do you know what I
form.
mean? Same with Harry Hemingway, Jack, all
Mm.
of them. And like obviously while I was at Raggers, saw Jack Peace, saw Jack ride a lot, did a fair bit of training with him, and he is properly upped his game. And
hmm
I genuinely
yeah,
think he's really ready for the
Yeah,
GP and um but yeah,
yeah. I hope
I
so.
think trial two is so exciting because I think we're probably all wrong about every single one of those guesses that we've just made. So
yeah. But
you just don't know, do you?
it's cool the fact like you didn't want to say because we've got so many mates and like British people riding in it as well, isn't it? That's what makes it
Yeah,
good to watch,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah. I
dodged
think
answering
it's
that
just
very
an
well. To be fair, you should be a politician.
but I think it's just dead exciting to see because you've got the battle for the top positions, you battle for your top five, you battle for your top 10. and then you've got the battle for points, and you look through, and
Mm.
it's like you see where like Duncan and Jamie are battling each other to
Yeah,
get there, and like you say, it's a really awesome class to watch, and I think it's
Yeah,
just like you say, it's more exciting for me. Like you said earlier, Hugo, you log on to the results, and first thing you do is go to trial
definitely.
go
Yeah.
three,
to
see
go
what's
to
going
trial
on.
two.
Yeah,
So what's your
Right,
top
okay.
three?
Yeah, Hugo's not letting
I
you away
give
with
it,
this
did
one.
I give it.
No, I don't think so.
No, I definitely did. Okay, so it's
Um,
Okay.
Ben Dignan, Harry Turner, George Hemingway. That's my top three.
right. I'd
Sorted.
say you get good odds on that. That'd be worth a tenner.
Yeah,
That'd be worth a tenner. Right, trial three. There's a few new faces in that, and I think is you and Sim is staying
Yeah.
in trial three, isn't he? So
yeah.
I'm gonna go for him. I honestly
Um,
don't know
I think it's got
who
to be, hasn't it?
else. I
yeah.
don't know who else in that class. I think the young lad was he Swedish fella, Sandvik or Norwegian? Can't remember.
Yeah.
I think
He's
he's
in
moving
Norwegian.
trial.
up.
I think he's in trial. He's been in trial
He's moved
two
up,
last
yeah.
year.
So
Ryan
um,
Land, the American lad,
yeah,
Mm.
he's riding
he's on
really
one
well.
two
He's on a
five.
Sherco
So
now too.
be interesting to see. Obviously, I've seen Ewan riding in the flesh at the moment, and his level is pretty impressive. Like the stuff he's doing
Hmm.
on that 125 is pretty cool.
Mm.
Yeah.
Um, and he's just got such a cool riding style. Like, it just looks solid. Um, but like I say, if
Yeah,
you're going off last year, he should not
He's got to be
walk
the
it, but
favourite, isn't he?
he's certainly got to be have the best chance at a world champion.
yeah. Fingers
Um,
crossed. Fingers
which is
crossed.
dead
He's
cool.
nice.
Really, really,
Yeah,
really
nice
cool
lad.
to see all this talent coming out of our part of the world.
Isn't it? Brilliant. So
Yeah.
there, I mean, the field is pretty stacked actually with British riders. It's good to see. What about then?
Mm.
Right, so we'll go
So,
with that. There's so many there's so many new riders. The names on that entry list that I've never heard of before. So who knows what level they're
mm.
at? But we're pretty sure on you and Sim, so we'll go with that. Um, Trial GP women. Obviously, Emma has now retired, so you've got to think. Obviously, Berta is odds-on favourite for that one.
I
Although I
thought
did
so.
watch a video of, is it Denisa Petchakova?
Yeah, she's come from like a trials push biking background, doesn't she? And
Yeah, and
she
she
was
was,
European champion last year.
and
Uh,
she looked
Mm.
pretty impressive, some of the stuff she was doing. But again, practice is one thing and competition is another.
Yeah.
Um, so what do we think there? I mean, it's got, I think I'm going to go Berta, probably Rubino, and then Monnier.
yeah, I think I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Only Berta, Monnier, Alice Minter.
Wow.
So I'm going to
Is
say.
that because she's on a beta
Yeah.
now?
No, just shake it up a bit. I think she'll go well on it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
And
was,
I'm
she was
assuming
sort
she's
of knocking
got,
on the door last year. Bit more
yeah.
practice. Like
And
she's been putting in a lot more time, I think, this winter from what I've
and is
seen and
Dan
heard.
Clark
So
minding for her as well? So that's a
yeah,
good experienced head there. Should help a
yeah,
lot. Um, and trial two women, ooh, could be anybody. It's like stick a name in the entry list or stick a pin in the entry list, just that
Mm.
one.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I'm not sure if the Italian girl that won that class last year is moving up to GP or staying there.
she has moved up, I think.
She has.
Let me see. Bacchetta, was it her?
Uh, I'm honestly not too sure.
Or Galliani?
there's
Martina
a yeah,
Galliani?
there's a few new names in that class, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah. There's actually Sophie Ferguson from here is riding in that class, so it'll be interesting to see how she goes.
Mm.
I'm going to go
Is
Matilda
she?
Arbon,
I didn't
trial
realise
two.
Sophie was riding it. That's quite cool.
Yeah, I'm going to go Matilda Arbon for that trial two women.
Yeah, I think it's
Not a
not a
bad
bad
shout.
shout.
Mm.
Yeah.
she was again in Spain when I was in Spain, and some of the stuff she's not scared of going at stuff, which was quite nice to see.
No. Yeah.
Uh, and she's got some she's really coming on as well.
Yeah.
Um,
I think she'll really grow as the year goes on as well, and it'll
Yeah.
be maybe an outside one, but hopefully. I suppose you've got Sophie Bailey there too, who
yeah,
arguably
Sophie
practices.
can say Sophie's a pretty
She
steady rider
practices
at
better
times as well.
than her results generally, I think. What if you look
Mm.
Yeah.
at
Some of the
what she
things you see he's
rides?
doing.
Um, so yeah, I see
Quite
there's
a
a couple
lot,
more British ones there. Holly
quite a
Dixon,
lot of
Brianna
Brits in
King.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
No,
we'll
it's
start.
yeah. Again, another another time. It's like great to see that again. We've got so many people coming over from the UK and stuff to
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah.
I actually meant to go through and count up the number of British riders and Spanish riders and everything else and just see how, because I reckon we must be pretty close
You got it
to
in front of you
having.
there.
Yeah, I have got the entry list for the first round here.
You
Yeah.
you do one, I'll do the other.
I'll just sit here and wait.
Right. Okay. Sorry. This is great television.
Go on, Matt,
Uh,
sing a song, Matt.
what are
Which
you
one are you
doing?
doing, Russ?
Yeah, I was going to
I'll
say
do
we can both count in
I'll do
Spanish or what?
Spain. I'll do
Okay,
Spain.
I'll do Britain. Right. Okay. So
Come on, Russell, what are you doing?
I didn't want to put him off. I wasn't going to talk.
right, 21.
27.
Yeah, because I was going through it there and
Pretty
I
close.
was going. Yeah, actually, when you were scrolling past, it was like, oh yeah, there's a Spain, 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 Spain.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they probably do
But
have more, but yeah, it's not bad.
I
21,
mean, that's pretty good representation compared,
isn't
like,
it?
must be going up year on year, I'd say.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Of course, the other person we didn't mention in trial two was Alfie Lampkin
yeah, of
Mm,
course, yeah.
because he's been out in Spain basically full time practicing his nuts off.
Mm.
So,
yeah.
um, who knows what way that could go?
Yeah, no, I hope he has a
Yeah.
good season. Like you say, he's put the effort in it. We'll see.
Yeah, he
Looks like he's
has. Yeah,
put the effort in
yeah,
this winter.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Really
quite
good to see.
interesting to see how Jamie gets on as well on that note, because he's looking pretty good at the moment too, I think.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I think he'll definitely make a step up. I think he'll be regular points in trial
Yeah,
two.
I'd like to be good to see.
Yeah. It just depends because I'm sure everybody else is doing the same thing. You know,
Well,
it's like you sort
that's
of
the thing.
you practice all winter and think, "Oh, brilliant! I've made great progress," and
Yeah.
then you sort of forget everybody else is trying as well.
Yeah,
And like funnily enough, everyone's trying to win, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone's trying to do well.
That's why it's the World Championship.
Yeah.
Um, right. Okay, that'll do us for. Well, I think we've pretty much covered everything, haven't we? With that,
I'd say so.
anything else we need to
Hmm.
know? No,
Oh, do you want
no
to talk
inside
about the?
knowledge from
Do you want to
Team
talk about the
Sherco
Scottish
or
Six Day, or
what's that?
are we talking about the Scottish Six Day, or are we saving that one for a bit longer?
No, go on. The numbers are out, so we might as well.
Russell
Yeah.
start tearing up.
Oh, stop it. We've got a box of tissues. I have a box of tissues here beside me, just in case.
Mate,
Um,
I've run out. Everyone
That
was
full of
posting the
tears.
pictures of what they were, of what numbers they were and stuff.
I know,
Sad
gotten.
times.
Yeah, it is.
Mm.
Um,
Are you
I'll
going
tell
up
you
there though,
later.
Russ? Or
Yeah, I'll be up for the week. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
See, I
okay.
don't know how you can do that. Honestly, I have no idea how you can do it.
I couldn't not be there. It would be worse.
Yeah,
It would be worse sitting at home watching it. Well,
For
you did
me,
that last
mate,
year, Hugo. That must have been.
it would be so painful
yeah,
having to go up and watch everyone else ride.
yeah. I think I'd be. I just yeah. I knew I wasn't going to do it last year, but I just almost didn't keep up with it that much until till the end because it's just a bit like you don't you don't want to watch it all happen, do you, when you're not there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm. I'm buzzing
I
to be
no,
going
I
again
don't
this
mind
year.
it. I'll just go and I'll follow it round and just watch and
Media
That'll be me.
mogul.
I'll still feel like I'm sort of part of
Oh,
it.
have you managed to get hold of a media bib? Is that why you're not riding?
No, I haven't actually applied for my ACU media bib yet. You have to apply to them now, and you have to show like
Yeah.
public liability insurance, and you have to do like a I don't know what you call it in England. It's different from here, but it's like a disclosure.
No, is that
Basically, make sure
DBS
you're not a
check?
paedophile. What
Yeah,
do you say
Ah,
there?
DBS
yeah,
check.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the one. You have to do one of
yeah,
them as well. So yeah, I haven't done all that yet, but I will do that before Scotland.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, so that is the plan then. That's
well,
it.
I mean, if
I've
I'm
got
there,
you
Get
suspect.
the gim,
We
get
know
the gimbal
exactly
out.
what. Yeah.
I might as well do as much coverage as I can if
Yeah.
I'm there.
No, it's good.
I'll try and do some live stuff, but mobile reception is the problem
Yeah.
there really.
Bit patchy.
I've
But
decided my method of getting over the fact I'm not riding. I'm gonna from that Monday morning, my phone is gonna be locked in a drawer, and I'm just gonna be uncontactable from everybody and
That's a bit like me,
forget
Matt,
that
last
there's
year.
anything happening.
elbows deep in a van somewhere.
Yeah. Oh God. Honestly, I'm good. Like I for the same reason you didn't do it last year, Hugo. Just like I've been working full time, like renovating a
Mm,
house, and like it's just been I've not had the time to put in on a bike. And as much as I could go up and ride around and get through, I,
Yeah,
mm,
I want to go and improve every year. And the fitter you are, the more you enjoy it, and
yeah.
the better you ride. And this year, I think I can count on one hand the amount of times I've ridden since January.
Mm.
It's
I think you got to be like the amount it costs and the amount of effort you put in to do it. You've got to go and enjoy it, haven't you?
exactly
That's what I think.
exactly
It's not something you really
yeah.
just do like run of the mill, is it?
no
No,
no
no. I mean that exactly what Matt said there. Like that's the reason I haven't done it. I
Mm,
didn't put an entry in this year because I knew with the British Championship and everything coming up that I'd be probably more weekends spent clearing sections than practicing
mm,
sections. So I just gave it a miss this year. But I know for me at like my age, it doesn't get any easier. Like I was having to practice harder, train harder to like even just to try it and stay at the same level. But
mm.
the level of rider in the entry goes the talent level gets higher every year, I think.
yeah
Certainly
yeah
for the last 4 or 5 years that it's
Mm.
happened, sort of pre-COVID and post-COVID, the level of the entry has gone up and up and up. And I'm like training harder, practicing harder, and finishing worse, which is sort of a bit hard to get your head around sometimes. But
Yeah.
like if I went back again, I'd be like, I'd be even lower in the results. So it's just, I might just say, right, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. But
How many have you done?
6, I've done
Good
6
man.
now. So there's something, I suppose there's something nice about doing 6 days.
Six days is yeah. That's what
That might just leave it at that.
it's got to be 6 or 10, isn't it?
I'll
yeah. I'm
console
going for
myself with that.
10 my number. I've just decided I'm gonna might have to just alternate years at this point.
That's what I'm doing. It's my plan is just to do it every other year, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's more
Because
achievable, isn't it?
yeah.
Especially with the rising cost of bikes and obviously the entry going up, which I completely understand the entry going up and
What's the
whatever.
entry this year?
It was 750, I think.
750, yeah.
Yeah,
Was it 700? I can't remember. Was it 700 last year?
When I last did it, 2023, it was 650 then.
yeah, I think it might. I'm not sure.
725, I think it might have been last year.
Like I can,
Yeah, I
yeah, like
mean, but
you do get a fair service for it, and it's a hell of a lot of work goes into putting that on, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, when you think about where would you even begin to start putting that event on?
Yeah, we
Where do you
couldn't,
even
could we?
start?
4 million.
You could not
Well,
run it anywhere any other part of the world.
yeah,
No,
um,
yeah. Credit to him.
yeah, absolutely, yeah, um, incredible. Yeah, sorry, I'm not doing it,
Mm.
but you're number 86.
87.
7? 87.
Yeah.
Oh, Jamie's 86, I think.
Yeah.
think.
Think he is.
Um, our lads, the Northern Iron crew are all in the 180s, which is quite a good. I was number in 2022. I think I was number 184, and it was a cracking number to be because right at the back of the group.
Yeah.
And our early day wasn't a bad day to be early, and our late day, well, it was for some reason they did road race day on the Thursday in 2022 rather than they swapped those two
Mm.
round. So we were late on road race day, and it was brilliant. I was last man through the last lot of sections,
Yeah.
and it was mint. It was mint. I had Kevin Dignan and I can't remember who the other back marker was. They were kind of trying to get
Push
me
you
to go
on.
quicker so we could get finished quicker. Um, yeah, it was a proper
Mm.
good day.
No, I'm looking forward
But
to it. Yeah. Sorry to say, but
Yeah, no, mate.
yeah,
I wish you all the best.
yeah. Well, we'll
we'll
see
gritty
you up there.
team.
So
Cheers, Matt.
what's I mean, well, we've done. I mean, we've done predictions for for the World
Mm.
Championship. Might as well. While we're on the subject of Scotland, let's do a prediction for Scotland. What do we reckon? I mean, sure. I reckon Sherco we're going to nail the podium. It'll be a 1, 2, 3 for Sherco riders.
You reckon?
It's
Could
just the
be.
order I'm not sure about.
Mm.
So, so you've
Jack
got,
Peace, Jack Price,
yeah.
Adam Raga,
Is that the order you're going with?
probably.
Fair
Mm.
play.
Yeah,
It'd
I
be
think
close
so.
between the them top two. It'll be well. Raga's a bit of an unknown. He's obviously going to be good, but how good?
Well, he's in Scotland practicing, so he's
Yeah,
obviously
he's not. He doesn't do
he's
stuff
not
by
just going
halves,
there to
does he?
make up the numbers, is he?
Yeah, yeah. No.
And he has won it before. So,
Mm.
um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, back in
You don't bet. It's hard to bet against, isn't it?
2001 or 2000 or whatever it was. So
Mm.
yeah, pretty impressive. The entry is stacked as well. You've got obviously the two Hemos, Harry and George.
Yeah.
Um, Jamie could be,
I think Jamie
yeah,
will go well, you know.
yeah, I think so. I think
Where
he's.
did he where did he finish last? He's pretty high up the last 2 years, isn't he?
I can't
Yeah.
remember whether he was just inside or just outside the top 10. I've got, I've maybe got
No.
First year
12.
on a big bike now, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I've got
Yeah.
like 12th in my head, but it was somewhere in
I've
around
got
that, I
yeah,
think.
I was thinking that, yeah. That might have been the year I did it. You might have been something like that.
Yeah. Yes, he's on a big bike this year. So's Harry. George obviously
Mm.
still be on a 125. Um,
Harry Turner, again, could go
Mm.
well.
Harry
Won
Turner,
the
Jack
Reef, didn't
Dance.
he? Jack Dance, exactly. I
Uh,
think Jack was pretty steady when he did it a couple of years ago, wasn't he? Where did
yeah,
Jack
and
Yeah.
well, he was on a 125 as well, so he's
125
it'll be
then,
his
wasn't
first year on a big bike as well.
One two
Yeah,
fives aren't too bad in them Scottish set. Like actually in the
No.
sections, they're not that bad, are they?
Yeah,
yeah,
well, funny. That's what Harry said. He said that in the sections, the 125 wasn't a disadvantage, and he said even on the moors, all right, you're sort of you have to ride it a bit harder on the moors, but
Yeah, it's just a bit for
um,
when if like them they're fit, it's not too bad, is it?
yeah, no,
Just
you
have to
can
ride a bit
good
harder.
good rider can ride anything, can't they? So,
Mm.
mm.
um, yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I hope they've gone back to the same number of sections every day rather than different numbers every day, which was a bit weird last year, I thought.
Yeah. I must admit, I didn't really mind it. Some of the sections were that hard. It was just sort of like we're glad that you were
Yeah.
doing less sections.
Show shows how little attention I paid last year. I didn't even know that they did that.
But to be honest,
Yeah,
though, I don't know
because
about you. I didn't. You're riding. You're doing your day. You don't even notice the number of sections, man.
the only
You count groups. I count groups. No,
Mm.
yeah, but
you know what
the
I mean.
only
Just to
thing
know
the only
you've
thing
not
is
missed
if you
anything.
were
But
You just look for the end of
if
hill,
you
don't you?
were
Finish of hill.
if you were early on Tuesday, you had to ride 28 sections. If you were early on Saturday, you only had to ride 20
Mm. Yeah.
early.
mm,
So I think the sections every day have to have the same number. Okay, fair enough. If they want to make it 28 every day instead of 30 and do it that way, then that's fair enough. But I just think I don't know, and I wasn't a big fan of like the short, really, really short Saturday either. It was like the Scottish 5.5 day.
Actually, I
Uh,
personally quite enjoyed it. It means we got
Yeah,
back to the car park and on the beers
back to the
soon.
car park for some
I didn't
beers.
mind that really.
Yeah, well,
It
that bit was
was.
okay. It was a glorious day to be in the car park drinking beer as well. But yeah, I would like to see it sort of 180 sections, I think
Yeah,
is the way it has to be over the week.
yeah.
Yeah, some big stuff, Hugo.
Was it?
There was some big stuff in it last year. Yeah. There was
There's some
one
decent
section,
stuff
it
in it,
was
23.
yeah, well talking about Saturday, actually, it was the first section, it was a double sub.
Oh, that was a big
The
girl, wasn't it?
second the second part of that sub
Yeah.
had four minders,
Yeah,
Was it
fast
right?
on?
So
burn. It's cool.
it was like a triple step. So the top of the first one there was two guys, top of the second one there was two guys, and one of them was on a rope.
It was. It wasn't the nicest thing to see, like first thing in the morning. To be fair,
No,
I
no.
remember we got
Well,
there because, like you say, the
It
first
was
one was ride through, wasn't it? Really, there was just like
yeah.
a few
First one,
big
oh, it
slabs that
was
you just went from,
yeah,
and
sort of slab to
and then you
slab.
came
Yeah.
round the corner, and there was just
mm,
like rode like
20
round this
foot.
boulder, sharp right, sharp left, and then you looked up, and there was
what?
just this like bit of a pool, and then just this like massive ramp thing. Um, it was when we
Yeah.
were there as well. I think
Did you say
it
fast
was
burn? It was.
fast burn. It was
Fast
called.
burn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
If you
but
watch one
there
of
was
Finn
just like
Newman's
there was
videos,
so many people. There were so many people crashing off it when we were walking it,
Yeah.
and
really?
yeah, and there
Yeah,
was
you
like a
see.
little rock in the bottom of it to the left that you had to touch, and yeah, I couldn't believe it when I flew up it, and I was watching people crash left, right, and centre, and then I
Yeah.
saw Finn Newman's video that you were just saying about, um, and obviously saw how much other people also struggled with it.
Yeah.
Like Pricey had a massive three there that was
He
ended up being quite controversial, I think.
he
But
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
um,
Yeah. He could have lost the
yeah,
trial there in that section.
mm.
Yeah, it was fairly big. I'm trying to think what else. There was that other section on Monday. It's in Glen Stockdale, and normally it's a straight run
Oh
out of
yeah,
the.
yeah,
It's like a
yeah,
field. It's like the side of a field into a big waterfall.
yeah,
Mm,
And last year they actually had it taped. They had the corner taped, and you came in. You had to hop round and hit that waterfall from like literally two
yeah,
bike lengths, which I thought was a bit unnecessary.
yeah. That was just
But
rubbish. It made like an already hard section that a lot of people sort of don't get up
mm.
yeah,
even more impossible
yeah,
Trying
for
to.
a lot
yeah,
of the entry.
yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't even try it actually, and that's the first time I think I've not tried
Mm.
something in Scotland, which was a bit disappointing.
Mm.
The
That's
other one that they changed,
the.
which actually made it easier for the better riders and harder for the lesser riders, was that hard section at Gorton. You know, after the lunch stop, when you after like you do chairlift, you do bar house, you
Yeah,
come
yeah,
down the
yeah,
road, the lunch stop, then you go out along that lane for ages, and there's a group out there, and there's one usually has a really tight turn, and
yeah.
then you're into like this horrible gully.
They
Well, they
changed
basically
all the
just made
start of
that a
it, didn't
straight
they?
line. Yeah, they
Ah,
changed the start of it, which basically meant you could just straight line the whole thing.
Yeah.
Uh, but there was a fair step
Mm.
in the start.
mm.
I just smashed the sump off the step
Dong.
back down. But the likes of Jack Peace and Dan and all those guys were just flying up it, and then just it was just like point to point to point for those guys. That's bread and butter, you know. It wasn't any harder for them. It was
Mm.
probably easier. But anyway, Dan Peace, there's another
Yeah.
shout
Very true.
potential. There's the first four on Sherco's.
Nah.
You want to beat it in there, Hugo? You're going to have to up your game, mate.
Well, I'll be trying.
Top 20.
That's my aim.
Yeah.
I think I was 29th in 2023.
Yeah,
I hadn't
you've
done it
got
for like
that in
I hadn't
your
done it for like
form.
6 years before that. So I reckon ride a few rivers up till now, give it a good go. I started really badly, like well, not really badly, but like I think I was like 76th or something after the first day, and then gradually like climbed up then. So if I can start all
Yeah.
right, I might have it in me.
Yeah, you got to be, yeah, top 20. I think that's
Hmm.
a realistic aim. You got to be bloody steady all week for that, but
You haven't, yeah.
you can't have any wee slack ones anywhere.
I'm quite looking forward, quite glad to be by Jamie and them guys. To be fair, it'd be
Yeah, you've got if you
good
got a good.
fun
That's
and
what
enjoy
half what
you.
makes a week, isn't it?
That's half the battle.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's half the battle. If you've got a good group around you,
Yeah,
like
um,
enjoying your week makes you ride better. You don't think about it as
ride
much. You
better.
just ride better, don't you?
exactly.
Yeah. I also find that when you've got, like for me, at the level I ride at, if you've got better riders, you
That does
tend to
help.
sort of, well, you watch them, they make the section look easier, so you're thinking, oh, well, that's not that bad. And you sort of
Yeah.
you do lift your game a wee bit.
And you start to sort
Um,
of measure yourself against what they're doing, trying to keep with them, don't you, as well?
get as close to them as you can. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It all helps. It all helps for sure.
Mm.
Um, right. Well, I gave my prediction for Scotland, but nobody else did.
Okay. Jack Price, Adam Raga, Harry Hemingway.
Okay.
We're just in not I'm not going further than top three.
Just do top three, right? Okay, I'm going Jack Peace, Harry Hemo, Hugo Jervis.
Five is
That's
in the
a
post now.
And
yeah.
why we've all just completely disregarded Doug.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he
And
wasn't
we
out of
just,
my mind.
yeah,
Definitely.
I don't know. I think without being disrespectful, I think he's probably I mean if he rides out of his skin, yeah, he'll be
yeah,
there or thereabouts. But I think he's maybe just a little bit
yeah.
like myself. There's a few too many birthdays.
Well, I don't. You won't be far off, will he? It's not going to
No,
be.
no, he won't be. He won't be. But
You've got
I
to
don't
have
know.
things on your side, and to win it, you've got to have things go your way, haven't you, in the week,
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
really?
I mean, last year there was that one day, wasn't it? Really, where the rain, road race
yeah.
day,
Oh yeah,
WDs was like
yeah.
flipping unreal, and that's where he had two fives in there, I think. So
Mm,
And something like
was
that
his week.
changes the whole dynamic of
Changed the
yeah.
whole
the
week.
sport,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah.
Mm.
And
It's
then you
one
have
of
Billy
them, innit?
Green
With the level of the sections going up last year, it actually made for a better trial in the sense of like
for those guys. Yeah,
mixed up the boys a bit.
Mm.
yeah.
But
Because you Billy
yeah,
Green had two absolutely horrendous days and then went clean the rest of the week, which nobody else did. He cleaned days that nobody else was cleaning. Like he cleaned
Mm.
that
yeah,
road race day, which was incredible.
yeah. See,
Um,
again,
but
I'd like to see Billy do well up there because he does ride very well up there and
He
has.
does, yeah.
yeah, and he was so close in
That's why
23.
I hate the whole call in the top three thing
No,
because
I
there's
do,
so
yeah.
many people I want to see do well. Like,
Yeah,
I know there can only be one winner, but I want everyone to
Yeah.
yeah,
taking part, guys.
yeah. I know, but it's a bit of fun, bit of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right,
ultimately, yeah. Just for laughing it.
yeah, that's it.
sweet. Right, that'll do us. That'll wrap. We'll wrap it up there. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Whatever way you're viewing this, listening to it, whatever it is. Yeah, the
Oh,
dog's
mine's
got the right
asleep as
idea
well.
Zonk.
there. Dogs are us. Right, like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. And we will see you in the next one.